to Fellowmind Industry Insight series, where we take a look at the trends and challenges impacting different industries and how our customers are transforming their businesses in an industry that's rapidly evolving. Fellowmind is an international company that helps accelerate the digital readiness of customers in various industries by using Microsoft Cloud solutions, encouraging agile development, implementing integrated platforms, and assisting end users to learn and adopt. The goal of Fellowmind is to make people enjoy working with technology and make technology work for them. The more than 2,000 people who work at Fellowmind love a deep dive into the challenges and ambitions that keep you up at night. And in this episode, we will focus on the machinery and equipment industry, and I have two industry experts in the studio with me, Camilla Carlson and Martin Cederbaum. Welcome to the studio, Camilla and Martin. Yeah, if we reading these newspapers, listening to everything that's happening, we are really living in a turbulent world. Do you agree, Camilla?
For sure, I do. A lot of things happening in the world today, and it affects us all in one way or another. We have been talking about the climate change and the pandemic already for a long time, but during the past year, of course, many companies have been facing problems like the war, inflation, high interest rates, and surging energy prices.
Yeah, surging energy prices, that alone is one of the most impactful events on the global market. Now we can add to that also the issues with Nord Stream. All of this affects the transportation, equipment, heating, facilities, all of that, of course, adding to the operational cost and making cash flow a real concern. There are examples of customers that have even closed down their entire production because there's no business case anymore. The costs are too high.
Unbelievable. And what are some of the other events that have been impacting the machinery and equipment industry?
Well, for a long time we've been struggling with lack of components, long delivery times, but also with the constant competition for talent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and there are many disruptions and uncertainty for sure. And the question is, how do you build an agile business that is ready to adapt? Because it is adapt or die.
Yeah.
If you don't do anything, you will be out of business. There's a story about an old company called Faucet. In the 1970s, they had to see their mechanical calculators be completely overrun by their digital counterparts. And they were basically out of business overnight.
It's all going so fast, indeed. Yeah. Apart from the events creating uncertainty for all of us, I understand there are several trends in the industry as well, Martin.
Yes, there are for sure. There are trends all with their set of challenges and also opportunities, of course. We have the shift from products to solutions, meaning moving into outcome-based services. We have the competition for talents that Camilla mentioned before. There's a study from 2018 saying that about 8 million manufacturing jobs will be unfilled at 2030. So attracting the right people is vital. We have the continuous digitization of assets and operations. We talk a lot about automation, RPA, and working smarter, not harder with our customers. And of course, also capturing more data. We have the call for sustainability. Just look at the impact from Greta Thunberg and Fridays for Future as an example. We have the growing supply chain pressure with COVID, the war, transportation, and also lack of components. And we as customers, we're continuously evolving. So you have to be able to respond to new customer demands.
Yeah, and I think probably the most impactful ones and the ones that require the biggest change and a new way of thinking, well, for once, the shift from products to services, the servitization, because that requires a completely new business model. Then, of course, the call for sustainability. It affects so many different areas of our business, really. And then the challenges with supply chain disruptions that is causing bottlenecks in production. And many companies are today looking into possibilities, for example, within additive manufacturing.
Nice. But on a high level, what should companies do to avoid fatal facet? I mean, how should they adapt?
On a high level, I think we need to establish something that we like to call connected companies.
Martin, what does it mean to become a connected company if we take a look in the machinery and equipment industry? What does it mean?
A connected company, they have the ability to extend connections throughout their entire business, through customers, employees, processes, innovation, and to all the different stakeholders that are somehow involved in the business. So related to the shift from products to solutions that we just talked about, in this industry, products are becoming more and more commodities. So how do you stay relevant when there are cheaper and similar products on the market if you're not connected within the company?
Yeah, it has become quite obvious, at least to us in Europe, that we can't compete only by producing excellent products anymore. We need to build services around them and really start to sell customer experience. So data and insights need to be connected. I think it's a make or break factor, really.
Yeah. And is it really a different way of thinking if we want to be a connected company?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think so.
And did you know by 2025, 50+% of equipment manufacturers, they will be offering outcome-based service contracts that bundle both products and services. That's an increase from like 15% back in 2021, according to Gartner.
Interesting. Can you maybe describe the outcome-based services?
Yeah, sure. Outcome-based essentially means offering complete solutions instead of individual products. So it might mean instead of selling elevators, you're offering people transportation. Instead of selling cars, you're offering mobility services, and you're offering heavy lifts instead of selling cranes. So you have to move away from being product-centric and move into being end-user-centric or subscription-centric or subscriber-centric. And there's much more data to capture and handle with that. So that is the shift from products to solutions.
And what is required for a company to transition to an outcome-based?
Well, again, I think you need to think connected company, because there are huge potential for companies who are ready to make the shift, like AI-based predictions, digital twins, and the possibilities to do a really high degree of automation. And also another dimension of the connected company is of course to have connected products as well, and to build new services with the help of that. We have the technologies for it. We have 5G and IoT, which makes it possible for us to do remote diagnostics and surveillance. So everything needs to be connected, but you need to have a platform in order to stay on top of the game and really make business out of data.
Yes.
We've been talking about predictive maintenance for a long time already, but surprisingly many companies seem to have a quite a long way to go still. It's surprising because the savings and the possibilities for new revenues are quite obvious.
Yeah.
I also think that traditional manufacturers, just like Martin also mentioned, need to look into the aftermarket more and think about subscription services in whatever they might be doing.
So many opportunities, right? Yeah.
So our recommendation really is to invest in a robust platform. It's a connected ecosystem of apps that then will be providing access and providing insights at the fingertips of the employees. And also be part of the industry clouds that Microsoft are focusing on. Why? Well, this is the very foundation on which we build the connected company. To improve the customer experience, to connect products and processes and innovation, you must be able to capture data, connect to the data, and gain the insights and turn those insights into actions, because that in sense means then improved business outcomes. So make data part of your business. And this is a completely new business model for many companies. You have a great example, Camilla, right?
Yes, I do. There's a company in Finland called Normet. They are producing equipment for the mining industry. And they really took the opportunity and started to make availability their business. Because at the end, why should the end customers care about anything else, really? So for an example, they are using Azure-based forecasting to do remote surveillance and anticipate maintenance needs.
Nice, very nice. And so if we take a look at this in this example, companies play a big role when it comes to their impact on society and environment, right, Martin?
Yeah, indeed. And I think there are at least two major aspects regarding the sustainability requirements. One is related to the actual operations and then supply, but also the products and services you offer and their future eco-footprint. So you have to be connected to the suppliers, to the sourcing, and also remain connected with the products. And this call for sustainability, I think, comes from various sources.
Yes.
It starts with us as human beings, really. We mentioned, of course, the green movement, and we as consumers, we're demanding some kind of change.
Absolutely.
We don't inherit the world from our parents, we borrow it from our children.
That's really beautifully said right there. Responsibility starts with oneself, right? We as human beings. And if we take a broader look, there are regulations on a European level that come into play here as well. This is a recent headline from a major European newspaper. This new regulation was voted in the European Parliament just this fall. What can you say about that?
Yeah, European Parliament lawmakers just voted to support an effective EU ban on sales of new petrol and diesel cars from 2035. And that is really speeding up the shift to electronic vehicles. And electrification will severely impact this industry and of course also offer new opportunities. And again, you must adapt. It's a do or die. Green must be a focus business area. And also on a side note, and for talented people and the war on attracting those, they expect companies to be sustainable, right? Yeah. So you have to think green much more than before.
Yeah.
And again, to be truly sustainable, you need to work as a connected company. Your customer requires it, and they need evidence of it. So you need to know what's happening in your entire supply chain, and you need to also understand the environment which your equipment is operating in, and how it affects the complete ecosystems.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Customers started to pay attention to what happens after the factory gate. I mean, how can you make money of your products after it is sold? And this aligns, of course, with the outcome-based shift that we've been talking about. That makes then fleet operations, rental, increased utilization, keeping the assets operational, trade-ins, reuse, improving products with data. This is also means to tackle the call for sustainability or supply chain disruptions, while then improving the customer experience. So these are completely new business models for many. And again, if you're in the aftermarket just doing services, that will not be enough. Electrification is changing all of that. There are no lubricants to change anymore, and the spare part business will also be affected.
And Camilla, is there more that machinery and equipment can do in terms of sustainability?
Well, connect and measure the sustainability along the entire supply chain, and make sure that there are systems that support you and your network, and that the platform in itself is scalable. Think also about possibilities for new business models. Make sure that there are no old legacy systems standing in your way. And coming back to the outcome-based services, I think there is an important link to sustainability as well, because also from a sustainability point of view, you might not be delivering only products anymore. You might be delivering entire projects. So you need systems that support your people when they are many times working in quite complex environments with many stakeholders around.
There's this old mobile phone manufacturer. Years back, they announced that the lifespan of their mobile phones actually decreased and the stocks went up. And I mean, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we talk about instead the increased lifespan and improved utilization. Take the cars, for example. They stay idle 96% of the time in a parking lot, which is also kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So for the machinery and equipment industry, this means then offering uptime and availability, and also being close to customers and try to make money without necessarily having to produce more. So create more value to the customer, but also in the end then reducing emissions.
And I think we're only just at the beginning of everything that is going to happen, right, in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Great examples that you're sharing.
There's an interesting story about Volta trucks as an example. They're offering trucks as a service, meaning they're electric, there's new design, they're zero emission, they're safer, and they are maximizing uptime and operational efficiency. And really everything is included. You have the service, you have the training, the financing. So also these devices have the opportunity to collect data while driving around in the cities. Again, collecting valuable information that they can feed back into the society, which is a wonderful story.
Wonderful. I really like your stories that you're sharing and all the examples. Very interesting discussion. If I take a look at the viewer right now, what is it that you want them to remember after this insight?
Well, we're coming back to the connected company all the time, so I guess that is a message here. But it's really about data capture and insights. You should be able to have better business business outcomes by connecting data and insights in the right way.
Nice. Martin, final words to you?
A common theme in our discussions, I believe, has been the ability to adapt and also having the tools to do so. So as a response from the shift from them products to solutions, the call for sustainability or the supply chain disruptions, we'd say look beyond the factory gate, right? And by becoming more connected, and you can really remodel your offerings, your products, and also increase the perceived value for the customers. So improving customer experience by engaging customers in completely new ways.
Nice. Thank you very much for being here in the studio and talking about this machinery and equipment industry. Thank you very much, Camilla and Martin.
Thank you.
If you would like to know more about the trends and developments in the machinery and equipment industry, please check out the website fellowmind.com.